Kartavirya Arjuna, also called Kartavirya because of his father, a renowned king of the Yehaya dynasty, son of Kartavirya. The Yehayas were Kshatriyas, warriors, and the Bhargavas were Brahmanas, teachers of Sri Vedas. The Bhargava sages were the family preceptors of the Yehaya kings. The Yehayas, who were generous and charitable, used to give plenty of wealth to the Bhargavas. On completing his education, the king Kartavirya, father of Kartavirya Arjuna, paid lavishly and the Bhrigus became rich thereafter. Kartavirya died and his sons did not very much like the Bhargavas, Bhrigus, becoming rich by the wealth of their ancestors. Knowing this, the Bhrigus started burying their wealth under the earth. Once a Kshatriya king, forcibly, dug out from the house of a Bhrigu, the wealth he had safely buried, and from that day onwards the Kshatriyas and the Bhargavas became enemies. The Bhrigus were hunted down by the Kshatriya kings and the Bhargavas, frightened by this move, left their abode and went and hid in caves in mountains, far away. Among those who thus fled was Sri Arusi Mata, wife of sage Sri Kyavana. Sri Arusi Mata was pregnant at that time and she hid her garbha, womb, in her thighs while fleeing. A Brahman woman who saw this, went and informed the Kshatriyas and they, immediately, went and caught hold of Sri Arusi Mata. Then, the thigh broke and a boy came out of it. Because he was born from the thighs, the boy was named Sri Orva. Uru equals thigh and so, born of a thigh. Sri Orva was born with fiery radiance and the sudden effulgence made the Kshatriya kings blind. Frightened, they craved for pardon and praised him. They got back their eyesight, then. Sri Orva bore a deep grudge against the Kshatriyas who had massacred his forefathers. Sri Orva started doing rigorous penance and by the force of his austerities the world started to burn. At that stage, the Pitras, a set of demigods, from Sri Manu, son of Sri Brahma, were born the Saptarishis like Sri Marichi and they, in turn, created the Pitras, appeared before him and persuaded him to withdraw from his penance. Sri Orva then told them thus, Pitras, while I was lying in the thigh womb of my mother, I heard hideous groans from outside and they were of our mothers when they saw the heads of our fathers being cut off by the swords of the Kshatriyas. Even from the womb itself, I nurtured a fierce hatred towards the Kshatriyas. No helping hand was raised before the pitiable wails of our mothers. The Pitras were astounded at the firmness of the vow of Sri Orva and horrified at the thought of what would happen if the penance was continued. They pleaded again to cease his austerities and then submitting to their request, Sri Orva withdrew the fire of his penance and forced it down into the sea. It is now believed that this fire, taking the shape of a horse head, is still living underneath the sea, vomiting heat at all times. This fire is called Badavagni. After this, the Yehayas began to lead a less aggressive life. But both Kartavirya Arjuna, born in the Yehaya dynasty, and the mighty sage Sri Jamadagni, born in the Bhrigu dynasty, nourished their hereditary feud. With his capital in the city of Mahishmati on the banks of the river Narmada, Kartavirya Arjuna began his reign. Once, when Kartavirya Arjuna was living in his capital Mahishmati, the sage Sri Narada, son of Sri Brahma, happened to come there. The king greeted him with due reverence and asked him what course of action was to be followed for attaining moksha, salvation, and at the same time for enjoying worldly pleasures. Sri Narada replied that by performing the rite known as Bhadradipa Pratishtha, both these objects could be achieved. Accordingly, Kartavirya went to the banks of the river Narmada with his wife and began the observance of Bhadradipa Pratishtha. Kartavirya's guru was Sri Dattatreya, an incarnation of Sri Vishnu with 3 heads, the son of sage Sri Atri and Sri Anasuya Mata. At the conclusion of the yaga, sacrificial fire, writes, Sri Dattatreya, who was pleased, asked Kartavirya Arjuna what boons he wished to have. Kartavirya with joined palms asked him many boons, one of which was that he should have 1,000 arms. Sri Dattatreya granted him the boons, and Kartavirya, who became proud of his new possession, ruled at Mahishmati for 86,000 years. Brahmana Purana, Chapter 44. Kartavirya Arjuna, who returned triumphant after receiving the boon from Sri Dattatreya, heard a mysterious voice warning him in the following words, "You fool! Don't you know that a Brahmana is superior to a Kshatriya? A Kshatriya governs his subjects in alliance with the Brahmana." On hearing this, Kartavirya Arjuna became angry. He understood that Sri Vayudeva, wind god, the divine messenger, was behind the mysterious voice. He despised Sri Vayudeva and argued that a Kshatriya was superior to a Brahmana. Sri Vayudeva gave him a warning that a Brahmana would curse Kartavirya Arjuna. Once Sri Agni Deva, fire god, approached Kartavirya Arjuna and begged for food. The king allowed him to feed upon mountains and trees from any part of his kingdom. So Sri Agni Deva began to devour the woods and hills. This led to the burning down of an ashrama, hermitage, owned by a sage called Sri Apava. The enraged sage came to know that Kartavirya Arjuna was responsible for the havoc and pronounced a curse that Sri Parashurama, sixth avatar, an incarnation of Sri Vishnu, would chop off all the 1,000 hands of Kartavirya Arjuna. More Part 2.